Hello everybody, this is Hero. This is my Soul Level 6 New Game Plus playthrough of Demon Souls. This is pure Black World tendency, and right now we're in Stonefang Tunnel 2-2, just after the Armor Spider boss, and we're taking on Scirvir, the Black Phantom version of Scirvir. And Scirvir is a dickhead. Scirvir's got some really fast pyromancy, and some pyromancy with some really weird range. And he's also got a very fast swing, and unlike the other Black Phantoms that we've run into so far, Scirvir can't be killed the way that I normally kill Black Phantoms, and that is lure them into walking towards you and then having them attack, because he has magic, and when Black Phantoms have magic they tend to use it a lot because this guy has a lot of MP. And this is about a minute and a half of deaths of me dying against Scirvir, because holy shit did this take me a while. I can't even explain. It took me probably an hour and a half to 2 hours to kill Scirvir, just because I didn't bother fighting him. No, actually that's a lie. I did fight him in my first playthrough, but then fighting him in New Game Plus he gets a big boost to his HP, and because I literally can't take any damage from him at all, it means I can't just go into human form like I did with the old in the old game with my Stones of Ephemeral Eyes to get the HP bonus. So Scirvir's a dick, and I've said this before, but Scirvir is a dick because he has magic, and I have a big problem with the speed at which one of his spells casts, because he barely raises his arm. He barely telegraphs it at all, and yet that fireball comes out so fast that unless you are actively expecting it and already moving, then it is unlikely that you'll just be able to evade it, especially if he decides to use it 5 times in a row and you run out of stamina, which I'm quite prone to doing. And this is the successful run. So I discovered that you just hit him with the running attack to get him out of that spellcasting animation, which I believe is a healing spell or a MP regen spell. And then you hit him with the heavy attacks 3 times with a slight pause in there so you can get him with another heavy attack. And this is exactly what I repeat. I wait for him to do the big fireball, then get close, and then capitalize on that and use the heavy attack 1 or 2 or 3 times if I can. And right here he's trapped himself in the corner. He's using his really fast attacks, and then I take a chance and I roll forward when he uses his big one, and his big one gets caught on all of his shit on the floor. I managed to roll in, catch him with a few heavy attacks, and he's down, and I did a little happy spinny run because shit, that took me like an hour and a half, 2 hours easy. I must have died, so I don't know, maybe almost 30 times to him, just because I don't know about anyone else, but I'm not just naturally good at games that I play. I'm just patient, and I take time to learn, and even though I should reasonably be able to expect myself to take on some challenges and say, well, I got this far before, I should be able to do it again, no problems, get up to this point again, it's just not how it works with me all the time, so I tend to perhaps take a little bit longer to do the same things that other people do, but in the end it's what I manage to get done that counts. So we are in the Valley of Defilement now, and I don't like the Valley of Defilement. I think I tried to explain this earlier. I tried to explain it in an earlier video, and I don't like the Valley of Defilement because I did it like a bitch. And I did it like a bitch because, as I was just saying before, I'm not naturally very good at these games. I tend to just keep trying, and it's usually the tenacity and habit that brings through the ability to sometimes get these things done. And this place, I don't know, I don't really know what it is, but every time I tried to do this place melee, I think the furthest I got was 2 I think, I don't know, I say about 20 meters in front of the boss fog, and I got hit in the side by one of the, I think they're called depraved ones or something weird like that. So yeah, that happened, and it was incredibly frustrating. And I really wanted to just try and do this as best as I could, do it all melee, try not to, get too frustrated, but I literally spent about 5 hours trying to do 5-1 without getting hit, without using the bow and arrow, and I don't know, I'm sorry guys, I just couldn't do it. And once I absolutely stopped having fun, I said to myself, you know what, this is meant to be about fun, and it's meant to be about a bit of challenge, but I didn't restrict myself to all melee, and I'm probably not going to start now, because this place, especially those fucking guys with the big red hot pokers, because if you play this game and you've tried to kill those guys with the flame, I don't know, what are they called, the spears, and they got things on fire on the end of them, and not being hit, then tell me your secrets, because if I'd been able to do this area with my S-Stock and the heater shield, just bitch poking my way to victory, I would have been happy. But it's all because of those guys with the fire attacks, because they've got fire elemental on their attacks. I can't even use my shield, because the chip damage through my shield as they attack me with their weapon is enough to one-shot me, because I have such low life and I'm trying to maintain the clever rat ring, and without the clever rat ring then I can't actually kill anything. So it's a bit of a fucked if I do, fucked if I don't sort of situation. So, sit back and relax, sit back and enjoy this stellar gameplay of me playing a first-person shooter in Demon's Souls. God. But, something that I noticed in Amaryl's playthrough of this game, and I also noticed in mine, look at the tiny fucking gap that I was just firing through, that tiny, insignificant little split in the wood, and I was getting through it perfectly. Like, look now, I can just move a little bit, and I think I can get this guy through the gap. Yep, there we go. How many times in Dark Souls or in Demon's Souls have you tried to fire at something and your arrow has hit something in midair and stopped? Just hit nothing, hit invisible walls and just stopped and not been able to get through, even though feasibly you should have been able to get through just fine, because you can see them, you can see the enemy, you can get your crosshair on them, there's nothing between you and them, it's just the boundaries of the world extend further than they look like they do. I mean, I know it's a big ask to get people to get devs to spend the time it must take to model all the different components that go into just assembling a level, but I don't feel like I should be able to notice when my arrows defy the laws of physics, I think I should be able to play the game, and if the game goes, hey, here, have a bow and arrow, and you go, okay, and try and fire it, I don't think you should be able to notice that your arrows hit nothing. And the thing is, if it were all generally shoddy, like if you basically couldn't fire a bow and arrow in this game without being 2 feet in front of the enemy that you're firing at and you're expecting it to hit, then I'd have basically no problem with this, because you just go, well, the bow and arrow firing is just shit in this game, so I won't use it. But it's inconsistent, and it's inconsistent because I can get some really, really weird shots in this game that it doesn't even look like I could be able to make it, given my experience with previous parts of the game. And then there are some bits where you fire straight ahead through a clear field and it gets caught on nothing. And I'm sorry if I know my progress through this level isn't exactly stunning at the moment, because I think for the past minute and a half, 2 minutes, I've just been standing in this room trying to get these people with arrows because I'm too scared to go down there and actually fight them like a man. And I don't know, I'm a little embarrassed by this gameplay, so take that as you will. But moving away from the actual gameplay at the moment, the Valley of Defilement. The Valley of Defilement is basically this is Demon Souls Blighttown, or Blighttown is Dark Souls. Dark Souls is Valley of Defilement, and Blighttown had a much worse frame rate. The frame rate does dip here in Valley of Defilement occasionally, but not nearly as badly as it did in Dark Souls. And this place is just a generally shitty place to be. The atmosphere is horrible. It's always raining shit, and everywhere's grimy, and enemies all make really unpleasant sounds, and everything hits way too fast, or is on fire, or causes poison or plague or some other stupid status effect. And there's a few bits of interesting things you can pick up, like these ticks drop marrowstone, and I think the rats drop shards of archstone, which is pretty cool. But yeah, these guys drop shard of marrowstone and chunk of marrowstone, and I know you get a pure marrowstone in the Maiden Australia boss area, so that's where you can make all your marrowstone stuff. And can I wanna say something just briefly about the upgrade system in this game. This game's upgrade system is fucked up. There's like 12, 13 different upgrade paths. There's hardstone, which is for normal, like blunt weapons and swords and stuff, and there's sharpstone, which is for katanas and curved swords and general dexterity based weapons and bows and stuff. And there's clearstone, which is for making quality weapons, which are basically even scaling weapons, which are like the raw weapons from Dark Souls. And there's bladestone, which is dexterity focused. There's crushing, which is made with greystone, which is strength. And there's marrowstone, which I think is critical bonuses. And there's tearing, which is from sucker stone, which increases the amount of bleed damage you do. And there's mercury stone, which does poison damage. And there's moonlight. There's moonlight, which does a lot of magic damage, and it scales with your magic and everything. And there's crescent, which is basically moonlight, except it removes all stat bonuses, and I think it scales a little bit better with your magic stat. And there's cloud, which is for shields only, and there's sticky, which is for bows only, and holy fuck, you know? I still don't know what, until I looked at the wiki a couple days ago, I had no idea what marrowstone did. I knew what mercury stone did. I had no idea what marrowstone did. I didn't even know what cloudstone did. And I don't know, I've gone through this game 3 times and I didn't know what half the bloody upgrade equipment did, and I wish the game would explain it a little bit better, but also I know that this is not Dark Souls and Demon Souls' thing. They don't really explain things to you if they can help it, because sooner or later you'll figure it out yourself, and if you read the descriptions of the items that you get of the upgrade materials, you can basically get a gist of what they do, and you can work it out that way. But yeah, Dark Souls' upgrade system, pretty much child's play, pretty much retarded compared to this one, because not only do weapons upgrade with all these crazy different upgrade materials, they don't all upgrade at the same level. So you can go to the blacksmith and get him to upgrade your weapons, but you might not be able to upgrade some weapons until they reach +6, or you can do some weapons when they reach +3, which or you can also do some weapons when they're at +0 as well. So, but if you're at +2 or +4 or +5 or +7 or 8 or 9 or 10, you can't actually even know that you were able to take these upgrade paths, which is a bit strange. And what they did in Dark Souls, I think, to mitigate this, because they realized that their system was a bit screwed up, was they just had everything upgrades with Titanite, and unless you want the elemental ones with fire and magic and all that kind of stuff, you just had basically color-coded elements, and that was all you wanted, that was all you needed. And basically everything took 5, I think it was like 8 or 9 shards of their respective type to get to the next tier, because you could go from like +0 to +5 is, I think, 9 Titanite shards, and then to get to +6 I think it's 8 large Titanite shards. There's none of the using some more regular Titanite shards, unlike in this game, because in this game you need a crazy amount of upgrade materials to properly upgrade a weapon from just 0 to +10, because you use about, I think, almost 50-60 normal shards to get your weapon to +10, and that's without including using all of the chunks, and then finally at the end the single pure that you likely have at the end. And it just, people say that upgrading weapons in Dark Souls is hard. No, it's not. In Demon Souls, it is hard. Upgrading your weapons is hard. It takes a lot of time, and that's my problem with it. It's not that it's really difficult to upgrade your weapons, because you have a blacksmith from the start who can take you from +0 to +10, because Edmund can just do that. And or Edward, is it Edmund or Edward? I don't know, the blacksmith in the Nexus, that he can do that. And it just takes a long time to get everything that you wanted. Anyway, I think I'll continue this in the next video, because this is the Leechmonger Archstone. This is a Leechmonger boss fight, sorry. And Leechmonger, I tried so many times. I cannot get down to him and stand beside him and fight him like a man, because every time I did, the leeches in the water killed me instantly. I just couldn't. So I'm sorry. I am really, really sorry. So what you're about to see is possibly the cheesiest thing I have ever seen in any playthrough. Just, he can't even hit me, I don't think. I thought he might be able to then, but he can't hit me. And he doesn't hit me. I have arrows, I have hyper mode, I'm just going to shoot, and shoot, and shoot. And he regens life, and sometimes he starts regening life really, really fast, but it's no match. You're just doing too much damage with the bow. It's crazy. Why are you allowed to do this? This is something I'm very, very glad never made it into Dark Souls, because this is like being able to shoot at Manus from outside the fog gate. This is what, except it's inside the fog gate, and it's really easy to realize that you can do. And I don't know, it's such bullshit. Like, I couldn't believe I did it like that, but I wasn't having fun. That was the end of a 5-hour struggle. I just gave a little sigh. I fucking love the sigh gesture, by the way, in Demon Souls. I really wish it was in Dark Souls. It's a great, like, well, fuck, you know, I'm sorry, that kind of a sigh. I wish it was in Dark Souls, it would have made a funny gesture, but instead we got like shrug, which is pretty good, which is pretty much like the Sai, but I think the Sai is just a lot more organic looking than the shrug. Anyway, this was 5-1, possibly the most painful Archstone for me, and thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.